Hey y'all. Happy Friday. Happy preparation for your Sabbath. It's the weekend, baby. Anyway, you guys know on Fridays, I like to give you guys something to do that's going to help you prosper in your future or your near future to come. And earlier I read my short from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. KJV version reads as follows. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. You guys ask yourself, has anyone told you lately that you've changed? And if so, have you changed for the better or for the worse? One must understand, those who influence you influence your conversations, your character, your morals, your integrity. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. You guys, one must understand that the influence of association matters. And being influenced by association is the same as being guilty by association. One must be aware of who they associate themselves with because bad company corrupts good manners. And don't be fooled by the type of association, whether the association be people, places, and even entertainment. What one surrounds themselves with, one become themselves. So you guys, for this weekend, I want you guys to be aware, think about your surroundings, right? Who is your company, right? Who do you association with? And ask yourself this question. Is that person or those things or that places or those entertainment, whatever the case may be, whatever you associate yourself with, is it helping you for good or for bad? Be honest for this weekend. Ask yourself, that very circle that you hang with, the very circle who you hang with, right? Them places that you go, right? The things that you allow to entertain you, right? Is it helping you for the better or is it helping you for the worse, right? Is it helping you prosper or is it pulling you back? Is it helping you move forward or is it making you take 2 steps back, right? Is that person benefiting you, right? Or are they depressing you or making you feel down or making you feel angered or, just a lot of anxiety when you're around them? Or when you're around those places, right? Or whatever the entertainment you allow yourself to be around. Is that entertainment making you hyper where you doing things that's going to get you caught up? Or is it making you calm and humble, right? Where you can just think and have peace, right? So again, for this weekend, I want you guys to take the time to acknowledge, right? Be aware, take attention to, right? To the things you associate yourselves with, right? The places you associate yourself with, right? The entertainment you associate yourself with, the people you associate yourself with, just your circle of life, right? That circle association of your life, of who you and what you allow your life to be associated with, right? Again, you guys, one must understand that the influence of association matters. And being influenced by association is the same as being guilty by association. One must be aware of who they associate themselves with because bad company corrupts good manners. And don't be fooled by the type of association, whether the association be people, places, and even entertainment. What one surrounds themselves with, one becomes themselves. Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33, KJV version reads as follows. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. And that's a proven fact, right? Be not deceived, you guys. For this weekend, I want you guys to just take the time, right? And be aware. And be not deceived, right? But be aware of the communications you got around you, right? Are they evil or are they good, right? Because remember, evil communications corrupt good manners, right? So ask yourself, has anyone told you lately that you've changed? And if so, have you changed for the better or for the worse? One must understand those who influence you influence your conversations, your character, your morals, your integrity. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. So again, for this weekend, I want you guys to take the time, and ask yourself or, be attentive to yourself, right? Acknowledge yourself, right? Consider what you associate your life with, right? the people, the places, the things, whatever the case may be. Consider what you associate yourself with and ask yourself, right? Is that association a good thing or a bad thing? Is that association productive or is not productive, right? Is that association allowing me to prosper or is not? Is that association allowing me to move forward or is it bringing me 2 steps back, right? Because remember, evil communications corrupt good manners. So whatever kind of association you associate yourself with, that's who you become, right? Because remember, what one surrounds themselves with, one becomes themselves. What one surrounds themselves with, one becomes themselves. What one surrounds themselves with, one becomes themselves. Evil communication corrupt good manners. So be not deceived. Right? So again, this weekend, take the time and consider your association, right? The people, the places, the entertainment, the circle, whatever the case may be, right? Is that association prospering you or bringing you back, right? Is it allowing you to be productive or not, right? Is it allow you, to move 2 steps forward where you can just keep on walking in the path that's going to lead you down that narrow path to the right way? Or is it going to lead you to a broader path where you'll get caught up and suffer and be grieved by all those around you because you're not allowing yourself to make your own decisions, or you're not allowing yourself to be led down the right path so that you can make the right decisions. But you're allowing yourself because you yourself have so much fear within you, right? You scared to step out of that skin. You scared to be independent, or you scared to have that husband that's going to help you be independent, right? So you can be able to move forward and associate yourself, with an association, right, that is right, good, pleasing, loving, prosper for you. So again, for this weekend, I want you guys to ask yourself, right? Take attentive to, right? And just acknowledge your association. Whether it be people, the places, or even entertainment. What kind of association are you surrounding yourself with? Because be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners. And so if you got good manners before and you start hanging with somebody who got bad manners, then that's who you become, right? Right? So Sally was the good girl because when she won, but because she hung with, Cheryl, who convinced her, who manipulated her to get caught up in all this stuff, now Sarah done fell off and everybody looking at her like, man, Sarah used to be this, Sarah used to be that. But now she hang with that person and she didn't change for the worse, right? And now she going down, right? But don't be Sarah, who allowed Cheryl to manipulate and deceive her, right? Because remember, another prophecy is those who deceive are being deceived, right? But be Llama, who allowed herself to be associated with, Angel. And Angel, is leading her down a narrow path that's going to help her prosper in the future. That's going to keep her mind sane so she don't be so crazy out of control, so she don't be delusional. That's going to help her move forward in life, right? So she can stay on the right track and not be pulled this way and pulled this way, right? That's going to allow her to be, careful about decisions she make, even when it comes to hanging with certain people, even when it comes to going to certain places, even when it comes to being entertained by things, right? Angel gonna be there for her, and she gonna lead her down the right path. So either you're gonna choose Cheryl, the deceiver and the manipulator, because you must want to be deceived too. Because while you deceiving her, while she deceiving you, you've been deceived because you decide to allow her to deceive you. Or are you gonna be Llama and Angel? Well, Llama is actually impressed by Angel, right? And look up to her, because she know Angel is doing the right thing, so she want to follow Angel footsteps, so she knows she's gonna be led down that narrow path and gonna receive peace, prosperity, exceeding her understanding, right? That she never even could imagine, but because Angel allowed Llama, to be trusted within her, Llama was able to follow Angel ways, and that Llama is probably teaching the next person, right? To do the same thing she did when she didn't have no help, or when she didn't have the right association, right? And also be not deceived again, because sometimes those associations too, remember, if you leaning towards the Father, then he gonna send you Angel, right? But if you leaning towards the world and Satan, then right, he's gonna send you Cheryl. Right? So again, you guys, one must understand that the influence of association matters. And being influenced by association is the same as being guilty by association. One must be aware of who they associate themselves with, because bad company corrupts good manners. And don't be fooled by the type of association, whether the association be people, places, and even entertainment. What one surrounds themselves with, one becomes. You guys, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33, KJV version reads as follows. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. So ask yourself, has anyone told you lately you changed? And if so, have you changed for the better or for the worse? One must understand, those who influence you influence your conversations, your character, your morals, your integrity. You guys, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. For this weekend, acknowledge your association. Is it for the good or is it for the bad? Happy Friday. Happy preparation for your Sabbath. Love you guys. Bye now. Peace.